Hello, this is Dr. Justin Dorenzo. I'd like to welcome you back to your anger management course. We're going to talk about developing a plan of anger management or to better manage our anger in session 3 today. But first, let's spend some time reviewing and checking in about what we have done for our homework as well as what we learned about during last session. So last session we identified the facts and events that lead us into an angry episode, specifically trying to get you away from drawing conclusions about and making assumptions about why someone else did something or why events happened, and instead just figuring out or stating the facts of the actual events. And then we also talked about the 4 cues to anger. And let's talk about homework as well. And let's think about the homework and review. I want you to review it as I'm asking you these questions. But what number did you really reach on the anger meter over the past few days or the past week? Describe the specific event or events that lead to this. So, and let's think about maybe some of your highest numbers. What events and what were some of the cues that you felt or experienced that led to these higher numbers on the anger meter? And what kind of technique did you use to try and control your anger? And we've named a few over the last couple sessions, but today we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about some of these strategies. And what I want you to do is also in the future is I want you to be thinking about this chart that we have below, but I want it to be in your mind's eye as a sequence of what happens, what some of the cues are, and then what strategies you're going to use. And this is basically your plan of action. So, and let's think about, if we're reviewing over the last week, let's think about the highest number that you reached on the anger meter since the last session, and let's describe a couple cues or think about a couple cues that would go on this chart. And then, now or in the future, we're going to be able to mentally identify some strategies that would be able to target specific events and cues. So let's come up with a plan. We need a plan to better manage our anger. Right? If we have a plan, we're thinking ahead of the game. We're much more likely to be successful in better managing our anger. So we're going to pick our anger control plan today. So it's important to learn as many strategies as you can so that you can develop your anger control plan. In other words, it's time to fill your tool belt. So in later sessions, we're going to talk about other techniques such as changing negative and hostile self-talk. We're going to learn about the conflict resolution model and how to be more assertive. Today we're going to talk about some basic strategies like the timeout method, but we're going to be in depth about it. We're going to also learn a deep breathing exercise, and we're going to learn about talking to a friend who's uninvolved in the anger stimulating event as well. There's another strategy. So the first one, timeout. So this strategy is very effective and should be used with every anger control plan because it can be used with all strategies. Okay, with every strategy, it's a great way to kind of separate yourself from the event. So it's usually a timeout. Usually a timeout is used with other people, so it's necessary to make an agreement with those people beforehand because you don't want somebody to think that you're just avoiding the important discussion or avoiding resolving an important issue. So you need, if it's going to be with your spouse, you need to let the spouse know that you may have to end a conversation abruptly. So this strategy gives both parties the opportunity to call a timeout whenever they see the situation is escalating. And it's important not to use the timeout as a way of saying shut up. The topic should be resolved later. So, and we mentioned this before in one of the first sessions, is that it's important to always resolve issues. We never want to just avoid them completely. And it's okay if we have to have a timeout for 30 minutes, as long as we come back and resolve the issue rather than it surfacing later with other issues. We don't want it to grow and fester. So a timeout can be used with events not involving people as well. For example, if you're getting frustrated because you're trying to focus on some work in a loud environment, you're trying to complete a project or something, you can call a timeout yourself, leave the situation, take a walk, but then you need to come back and fix or resolve whatever you were initially trying to tackle. Another great strategy is talking to a friend. Talking to a trustworthy friend is a very effective strategy because it can help uncover underlying emotions that are driving the angry episode. You want to encourage your friend to listen. So most importantly, okay, you want them to listen. And when you are talking to them, you need to try and just state the facts and not draw assumptions or conclusions about other people's intentions. Just state the facts of what happened. And you can have the other person, you can make the agreement that they will give you his or her perspective without lecturing you, of course, because we don't want your anger to be fueled in any way. And we want them to help promote rationality, so stick to the facts, help you come up with a more balanced thought that is more rational than just purely emotional as to why something happened. And then also you can use relaxation or deep breathing. And we've talked about different cues to anger. However, we've not talked about how these cues build on each other. And in fact, physical cues like rapid breathing, increased heart rate, and sweaty palms are all signs of an activated stress response to some event. The stress response fuels more cognitive and emotional cues, which then fuel more of the stress response. So you can just imagine you're getting upset by something, your heart is beating quickly, you feel tension around your head, your body's getting hot, your heart rate's moving quickly, again your breathing is getting shorter, quicker, your thoughts are becoming more angry, you start noticing that your physiology is changing, you get more upset, and that fuels even more emotional upsetness and more physical, psychological upsetness. So all of those cues feed on each other. However, when we learn to relax, it's impossible for the nervous system to be stressed at the same time. So relaxation implies physiological change. So we can truly only be in one pure state at a time. So if we're working to be in a state of relaxation by breathing, then we're not going to have other feelings, or it's going to be easier to put those feelings aside or move those feelings out of our body and out of our mind. So let's review, or let's learn about relaxation through breathing. Breathing is one of the most underrated mechanisms humans take part in. And again, we're going to try the exercise, but I want you to understand that I use this in therapy every day, whether it's helping people deal with anxiety, dealing with anger management, dealing with depression, dealing with attention, dealing with insomnia or problems sleeping. If people can learn how to control their breathing and master their breathing, they can learn how to control their body and put their mind and body in relaxed, focused, and healing states. So if we can get you to control your breathing, we can get you to much better control your anger. And that's what we're gonna practice today. So what I want you to do is I want you to take your time while we're doing this exercise, and after every statement that I make, I'm going to pause, and I want you just to focus on what I've said previously. So let's first find a comfortable chair where we can rest the back of our back, the back of our neck, the back of our head, and we can sit comfortably with our feet planted flatly on the floor, and where we can sit up straight. You can certainly lean back a little bit. But what I want you to do next is become aware of your body. I want you to feel your body as fully as you can and try to release any tension you feel in your muscles. So we're doing a mental scan over every inch of your body. And if there's any tension in any parts of your body, I just want you to simply relax them, let the tension go and release. And now what I want you to do is focus on your breathing. I want you to focus how you inhale. You're inhaling, the air should be coming through your nose, and as you're exhaling, the air is coming out of your mouth. I want you to focus on inhaling consistently, slowly, and deeply through your nose. And as you're inhaling through your nose, let's imagine inhaling 3 or 4 seconds nice and slowly. And as your chest is filling with air, and your stomach is filling with air too. And it's really important to push your stomach out as you inhale, and your chest. When you push your stomach out, that's your diaphragm pulling your lungs open all the way and being pushed out of your stomach and opening up your lungs to the full capacity. So we want to inhale slowly, 3 or 4 seconds. We want to pause a couple seconds. And then we want to exhale out of our mouth slowly, 3 or 4 seconds slowly. And our chest and our stomach come back in. And then we pause in between each breath. And then we inhale again, slowly through our nose. Chest and our stomach fill with air. 3 to 4 seconds. We pause for 2. And then we exhale. And as you're releasing, I want you to just breathe slow a while. Just focus on how relaxed you are as you're inhaling. In through your nose, filling your belly and chest. You're pausing. And you're exhaling. And I want you to repeat this for a minute or two, keeping your attention focused on the air filling and leaving your lungs and chest and stomach. And just relax. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Pausing in between each breath, and just notice how relaxed you are. And you did this, you put yourself in a state of relaxation, all from your breathing. Your heart rate has lowered, circulation has increased in the extremities in your body. Stomach is not growling, it's calm. You feel good. Okay, notice how you did this just from breathing differently. Okay, now I want you to slowly come back, sit up straight, and we're going to talk about the exercises that you're going to be doing before the next session. So over the next few days or over the next week, I want you to practice utilizing a strategy that you learned in this session to better manage your anger. Okay, I want you to list 3 of your most recent episodes of anger over the next week and identify the cues experienced, and then identify the strategy that you utilized. So if you think back to that chart where there was an event, there was a cue, and then the strategy. And over the next couple days, next week, I want you to continue to rate your level of anger on the anger meter. And then additionally, I would like you to practice deep breathing exercises for 5 minutes per day and during times you feel stressed. I'd like you to reflect that while doing the exercise, you're able to noticeably calm your stress and change your physiological response. So the goal of this exercise is to recondition your responses. If you practice this daily and in times of stress, you will be calmer and more relaxed. Okay, this ends session 3. Good luck, and remember to practice your breathing every day.